Another football bombshell.
A WA judge has just made public something that journos, lawyers and cops have known for a very long time, that the unnamed sports star accused of child sex crimes in civil proceedings in the District Court is Football Hall of Famer Barry Cable. Various suppression orders protecting his identity meant at one point we couldn't even refer to him as an ex-footballer. He had to be called a high-profile former sportsman. The historical record changed forever on Tuesday morning, 24 hours before a civil court action brought by the woman who claimed Cable abused her when she was a child. Presiding Judge Mark Heron lifted the suppression.
Big call.
Well, the judge knows that by doing so, he's pretty much ruined Cable's reputation regardless of the outcome of the trial. A 79-year-old man who has emphatically denied the accusations will spend his final years on this earth as the bloke once accused of being a pedophile. Heron said as much in his ruling. Although I accept the lifting of the suppression orders is likely to cause damage to his reputation, that is an unavoidable byproduct of litigation and the principle of open justice. I order that the defendant be referred to by his name, Barry Thomas Cable.
A name that's legendary.
With good reason. Watch this. Arguably the greatest rover to play the game. 379 games and 508 goals at Perth, North Melbourne and East Perth. A State of Origin hero for 14 consecutive years. More premierships, Sandover, Simpson and Best and Fairest medals than you can imagine. And then a stellar career as a coach. All of which means very little now because the court is about to hear excruciatingly intimate details of how, at least for a portion of his career, he allegedly groomed and sexually abused a young girl. Started when she was about 13, Cable was in his mid-20s, and the sexual contact continued when she was in her 30s.
So when were the allegations first made?
She first telephoned police in May 1998. She was in her 40s by that stage. Told detectives that she saw Cable as a father figure, and when he was abusing her, she would go to a little garden I had created in my mind. When he had finished what he was doing, I would come back to the awfulness of what I felt.
But he wasn't charged at that point.
She is said to have kept diaries documenting everything, but she destroyed them, so key evidence was missing. But we don't know if that was the deciding factor. We do know that when Cable was interviewed in November 98, it went for just 7 minutes. That interview and what happened after was so controversial it was included into the Royal Commission into Police Corruption. Cops from the Child Investigation Squad claimed senior officers interfered with the inquiry, and they said that pressure came all the way from the top. They told the inquiry that then Deputy Commissioner Bruce Brennan, Deputy Inspector Kevin Luby and Superintendent Dave Capehorn purposefully hamstrung the investigation. And Brookie Brennan, as was known, was one of Cable's mates who was in regular contact with him at the time. Capehorn, he of Andrew Mallard and Lance Williams fame, specifically told the OIC of the Child Abuse Squad that Cable was to be released without charge even if he confessed. Cable and his accuser both testified at the Royal Commission but were given code names, Q1 and Q2. The interference theory was comprehensively ruled out by Commissioner Geoffrey Kennedy.
So how did it come up again?
It looked like the whole thing was a dead issue, but in 2018 the law in WA was changed to remove time limits of when alleged victims of sexual abuse could sue their alleged abusers. That's when this woman filed her writ.
Could Cable countersue?
Theoretically yes, practically no. Cable's lawyer, fellow football player Mike McPhee, is dead. He died last year. And Cable's got no money. He filed for bankruptcy in January. 79 years old and broke.
Yeah, well, that's not going to be that uncommon soon, thanks to the RBA.
Says a lot about the state of the nation's finances when a Reserve Bank decision is live blogged just like the Grammys. Another 25 basis points means the official rate is now 3.35%.
Why won't it stop?
Reserve Governor Phil Lowe gave homeowners some hope, saying medium-term inflation expectations remained well anchored. Mind you, this is the same guy who in late 2021 told us he couldn't see a case for raising rates, so take his advice with a haul pack full of salt.
Yeah, well, people are adapting.
When your mortgage repayments get uncomfortably large, there are 3 things that you can do. Stop buying shit you don't need and pay off more of your loan.
I've been gutted!
Sell your McMansion and buy something more affordable.
Smells like a gym bag.
Does anyone else feel lightheaded?
Or refinance so your mortgage runs for more than a third of a century. National Australia Bank has just released a 35-year home loan through its subsidiary UBank. Financial ratings company Canstar reckons someone with 25 years left on a $500,000 loan could cut their monthly minimum payments by almost $800 if they refinance with the new product.
Gotta be a catch.
The extra 10 years will add more than $60,000 to your interest bill,
Ouch.
and you'll probably have to work well into your twilight years before you have paid it off.
Excuse me, I'd like to request $17 for a push broom rebristling.
Leaving a couple of months for you to save for the imminent bill from Bowron O'Day.
Oh, dang blasted, isn't anybody in this dadgum cemetery dead?
I didn't want to cause a fuss, but now that you mention it...
I'm Ben Harvey. For more update, click the subscribe button below.